Hey, all of my infinite beings and friends, welcome back to Infinite Wisdom. Yeah? Alright, guys. Well, today we're going to be talking about acceptance and a little bit of the reference of what I mean about acceptance. There's so many things in life that acceptance can be referenced about, but today in particular, I'm talking about acceptance when it comes to understanding a situation, acceptance when it comes to, in a sense, allowing something to have controlled you. Now, I also previously made a video on shadow work. So I know that a lot of the shadow work that we're going to be doing, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be brought up into your life and that you're going to have a lot of, flashbacks on. And sometimes when thinking of those different situations, we tend to, throughout the process, I'm definitely going to say we definitely tend to focus not on the things we did at first, right? When we go through our shadow work, or even just simply reflecting on something that happened in the past in order to fix it for your future, because reflecting is only a good thing when you're reflecting on it to fix something for the future, guys. Just remember that, okay? Now, when reflecting on something of your past, or like I said, just going real deep and diving deep, like my friend Ralph Smart likes to say, dive deep. But other than when you're in a process of pulling those things back up into your head, the first thing that most of us are going to do, and what I did, I know personally, is you're going to look at the situation and you're not going to see where you went wrong. And a lot of that actually happens before you actually even start thinking about the situation, or as it gradually starts to come up, you start thinking and reflecting on how another person really did wrong in that situation, or how another person made you this way, or how another person put you in this situation, or how that way made you act that way, right? And we'll be so stuck in that phase for a while. We're going to be so stuck in that phase of, in a sense, it's the phase of blaming, right? The blame game, right? We're stuck in that blame game phase where we just blame everyone for everything that has happened in our lives, as if we had never had one option to make that decision. Beep, beep, beep. Hey, hit the buzzer, because look, guys, there is literally going to be times where it's like, did you forget you have free will? Did you forget that you had to be put in that situation in order to get to the option of choosing which way you could have went with this, right? It's called free will, guys, right? And every obstacle, every path, every decision that's been put in front of your life, you had the option to choose. You made your decision, right? You said yes, but maybe you should have said no, right? If you said no, you would have got a different output, right? You decided to take that road trip. You made the decision to do it. If you wouldn't have made that decision to do that, then you would have got a different output, right? We all have to understand that we 100% have everything to do with what goes on in our lives. But when we're not awakened, or we're not awoke, we don't realize that we're putting so much blame on everyone else instead of ourselves. As time goes on, like, once you're fully programmed and fully being awakened into your spirituality, into honestly just who you are, when you're in that place of being enlightened about who yourself is and who you were in the past, that's where the acceptance starts to come, guys. When you can start taking that situation and look back at that situation and say, well, yes, that person did react that way, and I allowed myself to act this way because of how they were acting. The way you reacted, yes, it was reaction off of a response, but you still chose to do that option, right? And this is what I mean, is that a lot of people won't accept their own flaws. They won't accept their own faults for certain situations. They won't allow themselves to be the one who's blamed for anything. When you have a person who's unwilling to see their own faults, who's unwilling to accept that you yourself allowed that person to make you feel that way, or you yourself chose that way, chose to act that way, or you yourself chose to choose this job, or whatever the situation is. Because, I don't know what y'all got going on, all right? So it's like, listen, we have to start accepting our own faults. We can't just keep saying that, yeah, because my parents treated me this way as a child, that I should still be an angry, narcissistic, idiotic, evil, vindictive ass person as I grow up into life because of how my dad treated me, or how my mom treated me, or how I didn't grow up with parents. We're not accepting the fact that we let them affect us. We need to start accepting the fact that we are allowing people into our energy that is bringing us to feel this way, that is bringing us out of our happiness. And honestly, guys, it's so easy to do. It really is. It's because when you don't have a clear mind, when you don't have an open mind, you don't think. You don't think. You literally don't think. So when it comes to looking at the bigger picture of something, you don't see where your faults were. You don't see or accept that you were a part of why you acted this way. It wasn't just another person or that situation or those kids or whatever. There's never ever going to be something that you yourself did never make. I'm probably saying that wrong. It will never be anything in your life that does not have your option of choosing. Hopefully that sounds a little bit better, guys. Sorry. And by being so caught up in the reality of being right all the time, or caught up in the I'm gonna be like this whether I believe so or not, caught up in the reality that things can't change, caught up in the world of not understanding, in a sense, who you are. And when you can't understand who you are, you can't understand or accept anything else in life. By accepting yourself, accepting what you allowed to make you who you are, that's how you become a better you. That's how you become more understanding of yourself. that's how your eyes begin to open up and see the truth about certain things. About, yeah, you were a bitch when you did that. Yeah, you shouldn't have acted that way. Yes, your dad did this, your mom did this, but does that mean that you have to be the same way? Does that mean that you have to choose to keep acting as an asshole? Or does that mean that you have to choose to keep letting it affect you? And that's where we get so lost, is because, coming out of childhood, we get pushed right into adulthood. So there's no transitional, like, hey, let's try to fix this period before you get into adulthood. It's all just a run-on sentence, right? So in those sorts of aspects, it's like, all right, it's either I'm gonna just keep blaming the world or accept myself for what I've done or what I've allowed and move on so that I can be happy. And guys, all of my infinite beings, I want you to be happy. So I want you to accept yourselves. I want you to accept who you were and who you don't want to be anymore. I want you to empower yourself to be a stronger person. I want you to stand strong, so I want you to listen to yourselves. I want you to understand and accept where you went wrong, because there's going to be points in your life where you're going to be wrong. Everyone is. No one's perfect, and everyone makes one wrong decision or more, because you got a lot of decisions in your life, right? Whether it's the color of clothes you want to wear, the shoes you want to wear, what food are you putting in your house, you have a decision to make, right? It's up to you to make that correct decision, though. If you're not willing to make the decision, you're not willing to accept that you're making the wrong decision. And that puts you back. That sends you backwards. Oh, good Lord, guys. Okay, well, I could go on and on and on. But I'm gonna leave that right there. Alright, guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Peace, love,